Hey everyone, welcome back to Fast Charging with BnB. I am Bear.
And I'm Brian.
And today we got a show for you. We got like 3,700 different topics, lots of things, very exciting. And we're going to save the best for last, of course, because we want you to stay here. We don't want you to go anywhere. We want you to stay, hit the like button. Welcome back to Fast Charging with BnB. Oh, look at that. I got some feedback. I am Bear.
And I'm Brian. Maybe even subscribe while you're at it. And guys, we're simulcasting on Bear's Workshop and My Tesla Live, the second channel of My Tesla Weekend. But like Bear said, we have got some big news. We've got some exclusive news. We've got some breaking news. We've got some insights that you won't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
We got an announcement.
You got to back up, Brian. I could see your nose hair.
Ha-ha.
Did you color your nose hair?
Do I color my nose hair?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay, good. Then that was something else.
Okay.
All right. Hey, so the first thing is I want to share some horrible news that I had with my Tesla this past week, and then we'll get into like interesting stuff. But I want to just get one fact out of this. If you guys are ever wondering what it costs to replace a roof, the roof glass on a Model Y, I had to do that. I did that yesterday. We had a windstorm come through, and I had this car out on rent on Turo. He was getting the car charged at a destination charger, and all the lawn furniture at the hotel got caught up in the wind and landed on my car. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Tore apart the tire a little bit. The roof was smashed. You can see this is an area between the A pillar and the B pillar on both sides of the car got damaged. So I went to one body shop and they're like, oh, well, we're not going to touch that. Bring it to Tesla. They said looking at least $10,000 worth of repairs. That's not including the glass. The glass, which I got repaired yesterday, was $2,067 for the top glass. Got done in 2 hours, which was great, and the parts were available. So that's cool. But I had to front out that money until I can get the insurance to take care of that. But yeah, that was quite the disaster. But just wanted to share how much it costs to replace one of those pieces of glass.
Well, Paul said it's okay. It was just a rental.
Yeah, right. Fortunately, this guy's insurance is going to be paying for it because you are covered when you rent a car with most insurance. So his insurance is paying for this. In case you're wondering.
So that's it's frustrating, but the important thing to remember, and we've talked about this before, is that parts for cars are plain expensive. It's not exclusive to Tesla. And especially things like the glass, with these coming increasingly out of warranty and being as big of sellers as they are, third-party suppliers will have these in increasing numbers.
Yes. So I was fortunate that they had it there because I don't know what I would have done with that car if I had to wait months and months for this. So,
who is this asked? Shouldn't the hotel's insurance pay for that?
Yeah, maybe, but this guy's insurance is going to pay for this. I don't care who pays for it. Somebody's already stepped up and said they're going to pay for it, so I'm just going to go with that. And as much as I'd love to go back and forth with somebody else, I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to, after I get them to pay for all the repairs, then I'm going to get diminished value, and I'm going to get downtime because this is a rental. So I should be able to make up the downtime, hopefully, for the car not being there.
So for those who don't know, diminished value, when your car is damaged, even if it's fixed back to great again, it's not worth as much because people won't pay as much for a car that's been in an accident. And so insurance companies won't always do it unless you make sure they know that should pay you the difference in what the future value is. But it's a Tesla. Shouldn't you be paying them increased value?
Yeah, whose side are you on?
That's me, pro insurance companies.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Wow, that was horrible. Don't ever say that again. So, but yeah, I'll try and I'll probably get a few $1,000s out of them. And typically
Yeah.
in situations like this, you have to go back and forth, back and forth. They'll say, we'll give you $5, and you'll be like, no, I want 50,000. And then somewhere
Right.
you meet in the middle, which be closer to the $5. But just fight for whatever you can. Never take the first offer.
Yeah. And Mark said on your stream, let his car insurance go after the hotel. Yeah.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah. And I just don't care. I don't care as long
Right.
as my stuff
As long
gets
as it's
paid
paid.
for. I want
Yeah.
my $2,067 back as soon as possible. And then we'll go from there. So, and I'm still waiting for an estimate. I'll do an estimate with Tesla in a couple weeks, on I think April the 18th, and then I think I'm already scheduled for like June 1st for them to fix it. So I'll keep everyone up to date on the, the life and death matters of my Model Y and renting it out, and the problems that come along with it. Though if
Sure.
this could have happened anywhere.
Sure. I'm surprised how much the tire got banged up.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the tire actually got banged up in that, but I took before and after
He
pictures, and I think he might have curbed it, and I'm just throwing that in there because he still did it.
Right.
So
Either way. So, did you hear that? Did you hear that NHTSA's going to push for 49 miles to the gallon by 2026?
yeah, I saw that, and I understand the whole concept of raise the MPG so that we all use less oil. I think what's going to happen is this is not going to matter too much in the future. One, because a different administration will come in and change it, and then two, electric cars are taking over anyway. But in the meantime, what's great is that companies like Tesla and Lucid are going to make a bunch of money on tax credits, and it's going to help them build more factories to beat up.
Not tax credits. They're
That's
they're carbon credits.
well,
I mean, they're
they're carbon credits, but it all comes down to the. Yeah, you're right. They're not tax
comes down
credits.
to free money for the people who are making high efficiency vehicles.
Yes, or just not gas burning vehicles, because that's all you need to do.
Well, the 49 mpg, the Ford Lightning is not going to go a long way to offsetting that because it's only at what, like 60?
do they take those numbers and use them for that?
So in the past, when they do the sales of ZEV credits, it's based on per fleet.
Yeah.
Which is why Ford would sell 1 million little Focuses and just bang them out as fast as they could so they could go and sell the higher margin gas guzzlers.
Yeah. Did I tell you I bought a Focus last week?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
I don't know if you told me on air, though.
Yeah. After 250 miles, and this is me driving it, and my wife, we were getting 36 miles to the gallon, which is really nice. But
Wow.
still, to think a Focus would, in 5 years, not that they're selling them anymore, would bring down your average fuel economy at 36 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
I think that's an incredibly high number to achieve, and I think a lot of
Yeah.
the legacy auto manufacturers are just going to be bucking up a lot of money.
Yeah. And they won't get there without EVs because gas cars just, you can't, it's nigh impossible to build a safe internal combustion car that can get 49 miles. And certainly to get the whole fleet to an average of 49 would be impossible without EVs.
Yeah.
But, how much electricity can we even go with green electricity? How much would we need?
Not as much as you think, or at least on this map.
So this is one that Elon put out a few years back at Battery Day, I believe. Was it Battery Day or was it Solar Day? I don't recall. But this little box here is all the more solar panels you would need to power the world. And then, of course, you'd need batteries next to it, which would be a much smaller box and an improving one. Now, obviously, we're not going to put all the solar in one place. That would be a disaster and unworkable. But the idea is solar is mature and it's getting cheaper. We're approaching the limits of how much better it can get, but there are still incremental improvements. But the big deal is the price is falling.
Brian, do you know the square mileage on that area?
No, but someone can tell us in the chat because Elon quoted it. I want to say it's 1,000 kilometers square, but I don't remember offhand.
Oh, God, don't say it in kilometers. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I do that so that you have to keep me around.
Yeah, I really wish I grew up with kilometers because I can't comprehend kilometers in my head like I can with a mile. But I think that's a lot bigger area than it looks.
It's huge.
There is a key on the bottom left, and
There you go.
it's probably only like 300.
200. Yeah.
It's bigger than the
250.
250, so it's probably 350 square kilometers.
No, it's 300 to the side, so it'd be like 12,000.
Well, square
320,000?
kilometers. 350.
Anyway, someone
Yeah.
will tell us in the chat.
Someone now.
Go to the Google, my minions.
Yes.
But
And
yeah, it's
go ahead.
exciting.
Yeah.
No, just that it's we're ready. The grid is ready. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think a lot of that could be done by putting it on roofs and houses and buildings. It's harder for these apartment buildings because they don't have the actual floor space versus how many floors they have. So,
But just warehouse rooftops, just covering parking lots.
yeah,
Just covering parking lots would do it.
yeah.
So Daniel Carson saying 100 by 100 square. But he didn't put in a
mega kilometers. And Mark put 10 meters by 10 meters. So maybe he's measuring it on his TV that he's watching this on. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I should point out that the screen of the size of the screen is not to scale.
Yeah, it's not.
Africa's actually substantially larger than that.
Real quick on that the car damage thing. Olivia wanted to know or asked if she didn't know that Arizona's storms were that bad. It was a dust storm, so there was 3 ounces of rain that came down in the entire state, and the rest of it was just a windstorm. And I happened to be driving a Vanderhall motorcycle at the time, and I ate a lot of dirt. So, not good. But anyway, let's move on.
Sure. Did you know that some of the basic functionality in your Audi may not be there unless you get past the paywall?
You know what that makes me think of? It makes me think
What?
that some auto manufacturers are as big as D-bags as the dealerships are.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's cool at all. What do you think an Audi costs?
40, 50,000?
Minimum, right?
Right. Normal premium car cost.
Yeah, and then they want a subscription for you to like unlock your car.
Right. Well, you do have in a lot of Model Ys heated rear seats that you would have to purchase as a DLC after the fact.
Why is that?
Because it's an option, or it used to be. It was for a time where it was something you could buy before or after the sale, and you'd have heated rear seats.
But that's an option in the car that you're paying.
This is an option.
It shouldn't be. It's
Well, yeah, you gave me the button.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think this is pretty gross and ugly.
I like the fact that you're defending them again. Now you're gonna.
Oh no, I was being a smart ass.
Oh, okay. Well, you're defending them and insurance companies. I'm seeing a trend with you today, and I'm really worried.
Yeah.
Really worried.
Oh yeah, I've been secretly bought out by big a-hole.
So let's talk about someone who's doing everything right.
Who would that be?
Oh, it's GM, of course.
Did you know, and I don't know if you've heard this before, Bear, but I have it on very good authority that Mary led.
She is a leader of all types. Um,
Well, GM prepares to restart production at the Chevy Bolt after the world's most expensive recall in history. And I feel like, is it Groundhog Day? Because this, I swear we've been saying that they're about to restart production since we started the podcast.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That is a fact check true. They have been restarting it next month every single time that we've talked about this, and we've talked about it a lot. But I still don't feel like we've beaten it down enough because it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah. So when do they say it's coming back online?
You know, who knows? Let's see. Any day. Kind of didn't care. Kind of didn't care enough to read the whole article. But yeah, it's great. Just a great car.
Is that Doug DeMuro did a review of it?
Yes.
He must be really small because he looks tiny behind that car, and and that car is tiny.
6'2", I think.
I don't know. Maybe he's on his knees to make the car look bigger. Yeah,
that's probably it. But the good news is, Chevy, all the big dogs, opening capacity.
Or not.
Ford and GM to halt production at 2 Michigan plants due to part shortages.
Yeah.
Guys, what are you doing?
Their sales numbers were horrible. Ford's numbers were down so much. Their truck sales were down something like 40% or something. And it's not because they can't sell them. They can't put them together. They don't have enough parts.
Yeah. And I don't know, this may be something that makes them change their approach. And if it doesn't, maybe they'll die. Paul Crowdis did say, GM's production of Hummer is ramping nicely. It's up 9,900% this quarter over Q4. And what I'd mentioned on maybe my live show on Friday or somewhere is that at the rate that they're growing, they will consume every atom in the known universe by about 2026 or 7.
Yeah, that'll happen. Was I supposed to laugh?
So that's great. Yeah. Any other any new cars we should talk about?
Yeah. Another cheese from the people that own the rights for the Delorean Motor Company.
That's a funny way to put it.
Well, they do. They bought the rights and all their spare parts, and now they're saying they're going to come out with a car. I hope they do. And as long as it's not something stupid, yeah, I'll put another order in for another car because, why not?
Why not?
But it looks cool from the back, but that doesn't mean it's going to have good numbers. Doesn't mean that it's going to be real. It doesn't mean that it's going to be filled with cocaine in the back of it. All those things could happen, though.
I've, heard that that's one of the best things about the DeLorean.
Is the cocaine?
And why would they want to smuggle from Ireland to the U.S.? It makes no sense. The whole thing was a mess.
Because nobody would have thought about it.
If they can get, here's the thing, if they can get off-the-shelf parts, do just a little bit of engineering, sell it for too much money, they'll still sell every one they can make.
That is true.
Yeah, just overpower it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And make it something uncomfortable so that people don't use it as an everyday driver and the warranty expires before you hit 10,000 miles.
Yeah, and instead of doing a SPAC, they can go back to the cocaine stuff. That's a good...
Paul wants to know, can it time travel? Well, I mean, obviously, it's from 1986.
Of course it can.
I am very good at time travel. The problem I found is I'm only able to move forward very slowly, and it ages me terribly.
It's almost like dad joke day.
Come on, man.
All right, I'm not laughing at the joke, but I am laughing at you. But still, you got me laughing, so it counts.
I'll take it.
Yeah, right.
So the fun thing is, little cars like this, fun. Like if this is a 2-seat electric, that's going to sell. The original Roadster was based on a 2-seat gas car.
Yeah. Wasn't it based
Who made
upon a flower or something?
Yeah, a locust. Yeah. So Lotus wants to get it into the EV game. I love how this article says leaked. That's not a leak, my friend. That is not a leak.
Oh,
That
it's a color of a leak.
When there's an entire video here, that's not a leak. Come on.
There's an entire video?
Yeah, at the bottom of the article.
Oh.
A whole PR video.
I really
that was clearly made.
I really like the yellow though. It's a short one.
I mean, I wouldn't buy it, but I get it. A 4-seater. 4 or 5? Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of looks like an EV6, to be honest with you. Have you seen
Jeff corrected me. It's Lotus, not Locust. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I didn't know that either. I thought it was like the bug.
No, it's a Lotus.
Bring
it's
up
a flower. You had it right.
Bring up a picture of like a EV6. I think it looks like an EV6.
Oh yeah, it sure does. Oh boy, that is very close. Oh, who owns the Lotus?
Kia? I don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
Oh, that's real close. Maybe Lotus is just rebadging other people's electric cars now.
like it's like they pushed in the doors. You know, they gave them that weird. I don't know.
That
Is that
weird
the
flare?
Yeah, they gave it some flair. How many
That's the
pieces of flair are
concept.
you wearing?
I don't know if you could roll the windows down with that door.
Interesting. Maybe it's special glass and it folds instead of rolls down.
Yeah. Or it could be like that Subaru from the 90s where it's just got a little window inside the window.
I thought that was so cool when I was a kid, and then I realized that that's just stupid.
I'd like to see you go to a drive-through and pick up your and smash your bag of food through it. Anybody else have some yellow car news?
I love yellow car news. Yeah, Volkswagen, the buzz. I think we're reporting on this on a weekly basis now.
Just about. Feels like it.
Yeah, it does. And it still looks cool on the outside, but remember, guys, boys and girls, it looks horrible on the inside.
Very dull.
Yes.
So yeah, they've announced production will be beginning this month, and that they're hoping to ramp to 50 to 60,000 units next year. So 1,000 a week-ish in 2023.
I think that's going to be your first EV, because you need a vehicle that fits 17 or something.
But these production numbers, I think, are not based on the U.S. These are for Europe. The American one will be coming later. Yeah, I absolutely need something that size and shape.
Are you serious? This is not coming to the U.S.?
Not yet. Not yet. It will come. And the U.S. version will have a third row where the European version stops at 2.
Yeah, because they're not allowed to have more kids than will fit in the car that they own, right?
I don't make the rules.
That's why everybody wants to come to America, because they got the
Lily Mae wants to
damn
know,
third row.
What was the GigaFest announcements? We haven't gotten to those yet, but we do have some exciting news for the weekend.
Yep. So now you can't leave, Lily Mae. You showed up late. Oh,
Not much.
Olivia wants to know what cocaine we're talking about. Olivia, you need to look up Delorean and cocaine. You won't find anything that's not safe for work, but it will fill you in on the story.
CIA convinced John DeLorean to get into the business of cocaine smuggling. He never actually did it, and he thought that these were real smugglers and that they were going to kill him, which is why he never went to prison for it. It was the definition of entrapment. They basically said, smuggle or we'll kill you. You're under arrest for smuggling.
Just kill me.
Yeah. So Hertz made their big announcement, not only that they're buying 100,000 Model 3s, but that they're going to be adding Model Ys to their fleet.
Yes, but from my understanding, they really like to diversify, don't they?
They sure do. Apparently, they already have some Mach E's, or they're planning to get some, as well as planning to add 65,000 Polestars over 5 years.
And that is fantastic news if you happen to own GGPI, which I do, because that really had a nice effect on the stock price yesterday. Yeah, it went up over $1 yesterday.
Well, the reviews I've seen are that it's a good car, and when you have a good car and people get to experience it themselves, it improves sales. And the type of people interested in and capable of renting something in this price range, because this would be the most expensive rental they have, it's the top of the line, those are the people who would be in a position to buy them.
Hey, I got a question for you. Do businesses qualify for the tax rebate for the incentive?
So. I do not know.
Because it seems like if they buy the car and they buy 10,000 of them, they're going to use up a lot of tax credits real quick.
Maybe because if you bought a Tesla as your work vehicle through your business, boy, maybe someone in the chat can let us know on that.
Yeah, we need an accountant.
Yeah. Olivia had asked on your channel about did we know that Lucid is something about Lucid at Tesla being benchmarked? Is that a thing?
That is a thing. And there is a video of it, which is now playing on my screen and maybe even Brian's.
Who knows?
And I can attest that this is a Lucid Air Dream Edition. That is the $169,000 car that they are testing, and it's got a lot of graffiti on the side, which I tried zooming in and I was unable to tell you what it said. But
I couldn't make it out either.
Yeah, out of the 520 cars that were made, not necessarily delivered, because I know that there's still one sitting in the parking lot at Lucid, they got their hands on one, which is honestly not that uncommon. Didn't GM just get a Plaid last week?
I don't remember on that one, but it's extremely common.
Yeah, it's extremely common. The only thing I find unusual about this is that they got their hands on one, because they're gonna have to find one of the 520 that exist, and obviously they can't tear it apart. That's part of the problem.
I think the writing on the side is an advertisement for whoever owns it,
because they knew that it would be there. Get the flyover.
Maybe. I remember Ford had a Model Y that they were benchmarking against the Mach E.
Ooh, that must have been embarrassing.
I'm glad Tesla is doing this, because the Lucid is a pretty fantastic car, and they want to know what it does. They want to know.
Absolutely. If you did not look at it, you would be doing yourself and your customers a disservice.
Yeah. Now, I don't think they need to look at necessarily, the Mini, the electric Mini. I don't think that would help them.
Well, actually, it might help them. So don't ever do this,
Right. Right. Yeah, and that's all the alternative news we have for other car companies, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Now you're messing with JJ, aren't you?
I am. I'm 100%, because he was messing with me. He said, Brian's going to talk about Elon buying Twitter, but not even bring up any of the other car companies. He said specifically, Nikola, I should point out, I'm the one who found this story. Nikola may sell up to 1.2 billion in new stock. No specific timing, but the electric truck maker has indicated capital raise is this year. So, the cash burn was getting concerning because you can't burn cash forever, and revenue is very slow to catch up. And if your margin is even if your margin is quite good, counteracting billions is difficult.
Yeah, well, their margin is not quite good. It's actually quite bad. They predict that they're going to be at a negative 60 to 70% per truck, probably till the end of this year. So obviously not a good margin. They expect that to turn around next year as they get better and better at production and get more orders in. So this is
economies of scale.
Yeah, this is something that everybody knew about, or something was coming. I'm not overly concerned with it. With the stock price going up, they'll be able to get less shares, or they'll get more money and dilute it less. Since they're looking for a specific amount of money, the higher the share price, then the less it's going to get diluted. So that could be a good thing.
And right now they're still buying a lot of the components. The chassis, that's something they're going to start making themselves. But right now,
maybe.
Well, yeah, maybe. But eventually, at the very least, they'll get better pricing.
Yes. And it does remain to be seen. They talked about their future phases, and they're still on the fence on whether or not they're going to have a shop that's going to do welding, which leads me to believe that, they're planning on it, but they're still saying they're not 100% committed to it. If they're not going to be doing welding, then they're not going to be doing their own frames.
Well, what are they going to be using all that space for then?
Just for more production. One, for more production. Two, paint was in there. Probably more fabrication. Probably just do more and more stuff in-house. The more stuff that they can do in-house, the better.
Okay. And yeah, so that's it for the other car companies, right?
Nah. There's always more.
Rivian produced 2,553 vehicles in Q1.
Something's really fishy.
Well, they lose so much money on every model that if they made more, they would burn through their pile of cash.
That's not even what's fishy about it. How could you make more money? By not just producing, but selling them? Delivering them?
Not if the margins are negative.
Well, yeah. Okay. They've produced 2,553 vehicles, but they've only delivered 1,227, leaving 1,300 vehicles sitting around that they could be collecting a minimum of $70,000, but probably more on each one of them. So what's up with that?
They are learning all the difficulties of doing this. So one of the problems Tesla had early on was when vehicles got to Europe, they found, you can't have red blinkers. They have to be amber. And it was all kinds of little things that they just didn't think about that muddied it up. You have to have this very specific sticker on this thing. So it could be something as simple as they don't have the right tax situation in a state. So I don't know.
Yeah. So that was announced today at the close of the market, or
April
earlier?
5th, 5:06 p.m. Eastern.
So they're up after hours, but they lost $4 today. They lost over 10% for the day. I wonder if that came out a little earlier.
Oh, leaked?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. The Rivians are getting really great reviews. Everyone, I did see a story on Twitter today. Somebody was saying that on their drive, they were going to bring it to Texas for the GigaFest, and that something stupid broke on it and they wouldn't be able to get it fixed in time. That happens with new cars. That happens with a brand new production line.
It does.
And they'll fix it. It just sucks.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I still am on the fence whether or not I would buy one of these.
They're so expensive.
They are.
I had a comment on one of my Cybertruck videos where a guy said, I'm a Cybertruck reservation holder, but I think I'm going to cancel it because Tesla keeps increasing their prices, so I'm going to buy a Rivian. Okay, your first lie was better.
Yeah.
It'd be, you know what, they to make a truly affordable EV.
Yeah, so let's talk about our BS story of the week. GM and Honda to develop affordable electric vehicles that cost less than $30,000.
Awesome. I want one right now.
Yeah.
When can I get it?
Well, first, we need about 10, 15 years to go by. And no, actually at the bottom it says this will never be available. Was this an April Fool's joke? What's the date on this one?
What? This says beginning in 2027.
No. The average cost of a brand new car today is around $40,000.
$43,000 in 2021.
Okay. So I don't know how in 5 years from now that they think that they're going to be making this cheaper. Maybe it's going to have 15 minutes of range. You know, you don't even get miles. You get time. You get 15 minutes.
Maybe it's a single-use vehicle.
Maybe it comes out of a vending machine.
Jeff says, Paul says, I'd like to see the gross margin on those. So would they, but there isn't going to be one. There isn't going to be one. Oh, and here's just a picture of Ultium. Okay. So that's definitely real and definitely going to happen. The problem with things 5-6 years in the future is that your CEOs turn over in that time.
You think Mary's going somewhere? She's going to be leading the way.
Yeah. You know, she sells her stock all the time. All the time she sells it.
Does she?
Yes, constantly. It is in a constant state of sale.
Is she, does she take pay? Or is she just take stock?
Of course. She takes both.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a heck of a deal. She's got quite the grift going on there. I would love to get paid for that kind of leadership.
She's a hero. I feel like you're being sarcastic. She's a hero to the people.
Digital Blade Canada cracked the code for us. The $30,000 car is going to be the Wuling EV. The $5,000 Chinese one, you could sell that for $30,000 in the U.S. Absolutely.
Oh.
I mean, you can't sell it in the U.S. legally.
Maybe it comes with pillows instead of airbags.
Those are optional.
Optional pillows. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But we do have to talk about the Twitter thing.
Yes,
Turns
we
out
do.
Elon took his little Twitter beef to the next level and became the largest shareholder in the company without telling anyone.
That's funny.
9% of the company. Jack Dorsey, the founder, owns about 2%. The largest investment firms own about 7 to 8%. And that $2.9 billion worth, he paid less than that. It was purchased before March 14th. It was trading at about $30 at the time. So he probably paid closer to, I don't know, what would that be? 2.1 billion-ish. And it's now worth about like 4 or 5. So if you want to make a few billion, all you need is a few billion.
Yeah, that's how that works. I find this whole thing to be hilarious. There was an announcement that he's going to be on their board of directors now.
Yes.
As long as he doesn't ever own more than a certain percentage
14,
of Twitter.
Yeah, 14.2, I think.
So
just stop buying the stock and we'll let you be on the board.
How does that work? So he buys up to, like, let's say 14.1, and then he goes, I'm going to screw with them today, and he goes out and he buys another 5%, and they go, you can't do that. You agreed not to. we're going to kick you off the board. Well,
it's a contract. I assume there's, but the thing is, he could buy up to 14 and then announce that he's leaving the board, and then 91 days later, resume buying.
Yeah, so, I mean, how does that really protect them?
Do they really think he needs more than 9% to get his message across?
He definitely got his message across, I think.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of really, I'm trying to think of a nice way to put it. Some really ugly people who just assume that awesome, Elon's going to do the thing I want him to do with Twitter.
He's not going to do anything like that. He's going to allow everyone to speak.
Well,
that's his main concern.
There are people you and I know who we won't say his name, but he believes that Elon's going to open it up to all the bots and everybody. It's like, you really think the bots are going to... Hey, bots get free speech too. Who am I to say you're a bot?
Okay, that's just a little weird, but...
Dumb. Very dumb. And not... That doesn't protect free speech. That just makes things dumber.
You mean bots like robots, or do you mean like a computer program that is simulating something?
A computer program that is trying to sell something.
Okay, well, that's kind of what an ad is. I mean, I've got ads in my background right now.
Ads are labeled and they pay.
Ads are not always labeled. The ad at the top of the screen is not labeled.
I have ad blocker on, so I don't see it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's... you turn that ad blocker off, your revenue will go up on YouTube. Because I know you watch all your videos.
I generally do. Got to make sure they're working.
Yeah. Now, there are some links on here that say sponsored links by something. But not everything says that it's sponsored or that it's paid for or promotion. Just like the chronograph blue-orange watch that is at the top of the screen.
And a lot of even reputable news organizations will allow content that is clearly sponsored that is not labeled. Mm-hmm. But, I'd be curious to see, because we are, believe it or not, ahead of schedule. We've got probably an extra 3-4 minutes that we didn't account for. I'd love to hear in the comments what you think Elon's going to do with Twitter and what you'd like him to do. Well, what we should do is talk about the big news for later this week. Cyber Rodeo, Giga, Texas. I do not have a ticket. Do you, Bear?
I do not have a ticket. I barely have a plane ticket.
But I remain confident, especially seeing the list of very high-profile people who absolutely should be there who do not have tickets. It gives me confidence I will get my ticket. The bigger news is, bigger, is the Tesla Tubers Meet and Greet.
Yes, that is.
And, Warren's being real squirrely about appearing. I wrote back to him today and say, can you commit at this point, or do you need me to just take you off the material? And he said, I'll let you know tomorrow.
That means he's hoping for a better hookup.
Well, Warren will be speaking at TeslaCon. So, I don't know what he's looking for. But maybe he'll be there, maybe he won't. Tickets remain available to my free event. Which is cool.
And I also have a link in my description. We both have links in our description. And the tickets are free. But if you want to buy a ticket and help support us going out there, we would both appreciate it. Brian has sold quite a few tickets, which is very helpful, and he appreciates that. I've sold so many, I'm going to have to make another issue in order to get these tickets out to everybody. Yeah.
And the nice thing is, since you can't get your Cybertruck or your Cyber Rodeo ticket, and TeslaCon is sold out. This is not sold out. We got somewhere to go. Bear, are you going to TeslaCon?
I don't have a ticket, but I could if
I have
if
a
I'm
ticket
someone's other. If
Oh yeah, yeah. So
what about? Are you going?
I am going. I bought tickets real early on, and I had a source on the inside who said they were considering me for a number of different possible roles that may or may not have come to fruition.
Well, I've also got a similar offer, but they had said something about taking out the trash. So,
Nah.
but hey,
So
if I'm in, I'm in.
It appears as though the big announcement. It looks like this is official. I could be. There's a chance I could be mistaken, but it looks like I will be hosting the live stream, the official live stream for TeslaCon, which will be running about noon to 6. The speakers will all be featured. You will get to see them in live 2-camera setup kind of deal. And I would be, explaining. I would be handling it in between segments. So that'll be quite exciting. Stevie B asks, where's the link? To what? To what? To which event? Yeah, we'll get you. And when the show ends, we put up links to absolutely everything. But,
Yes.
Great.
JJ.
Jeff said, say hi to Sandy for the songsters. I will do that.
JJ is in the comments asking me why I identify as a Tesla tuber and not a Nikola tuber. I don't identify with either one. I'm just out here just trying to have fun and not putting myself into category for anything. So.
And Brian named the event.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. And I am kind of riding Brian's coattails on this because I was unsure that I was going to go. So Brian does deserve much of the credit for the meet and greet and putting this together. So I don't want to be taking away from his. What are you taking away from your?
Stealing my thunder.
Yeah, your thunder.
Yeah, and so this adds the whole idea of hosting the live stream. Only came up yesterday, day before, and I've been working with their event coordinator, and today with the AV guy, and it looks like it was something that they were going to try and handle on their own, but they didn't understand the number of steps between getting a feed and making a feed happen. So that's good news for me.
It is.
Yeah. And some of these guests are pretty darn interesting people. I'd be surprised if you're a fan of Tesla, you've probably heard of some or all of them. And they have many more speakers, including a very high number of people whose qualifications include Tesla Owners Club of Austin. That's interesting. Yeah. We'll have fun with that. So we'll get into the comments here. I do want to thank my Patreons who get early access, bonus content, ad-free experience, all that good stuff. And I especially want to thank JJE and Rick Thor. I put you guys in blue. You show up on all my videos, but these are fans of Bear helping out the channel, keeping me here.
That would be at your 420 level, right?
That is at $4.20. The 420 levels. JJ and Rick, thank you so much.
And
yeah.
I also want to thank all my patrons, even the ones that support Brian. I still like you guys. I appreciate you supporting both channels. That obviously is for you, JJ and Rick. I'm not sure that I have a Rick on my Patreon list, so I'm not sure if he just liked the number of 420.
He might have just liked the number.
Yeah. So that is possible. So, Brian, what time are you headed out tomorrow?
So my flight is at 6:30 p.m. I will arrive just after midnight.
Okay, so you're going to have a long day tomorrow, and then bright and early we're going to be working on getting this GigaFest meet and greet ready for everybody. I'm coming in sometime tomorrow, not even sure when. And Brian and I are going to be out there, so we really do want to meet some of you guys. And in case someone comes up to me and says, "Hey, I'm this person," and I give you a blank stare, it's because I got a horrible memory. So, no offense.
Yeah. I did run a poll today to find out who all's coming. Are you going to Giga Texas Meet and Greet? Looks like 50% is the winner with Texas Isn't Real. 12%. Of course, I'm not crazy. So that's great. Let's go ahead and end that. So that's cool. In the questions, yeah. There's a lot of discussion in my channel about people concerned with people mentioning that, well, if Bezos can own the Washington Post, Elon can own Twitter. Bezos owns the entire Washington Post, though, doesn't he? He doesn't own a chunk of it. He owns it. And Elon owns a very small stake. I mean, it's a large stake, but it's less than 10% of Twitter.
That's like a 25-ounce prime rib right there. It's a large steak.
Yeah. I saw the steak jokes and I didn't get it.
I don't know why you didn't get that, because you're like, wow.
Didn't get it. Paul wants to know how the pizza fund is going. The pizza fund is going great. The pizza fund is satisfied. I am Wendelin helped us create some awesome graphics, and we're going to print out a bunch of giveaway stuff to give away. On the pizza front, I had to you reach a point where it's like the number's getting too large. We're going to do 50 pizzas, which probably won't be enough, but at some point it's just getting ridiculous at that point.
That's a lot of pizza.
Yeah. It's a lot of pizza.
We should see if I can get an employee discount while we're ordering those pizzas. I used to work at Domino's.
And Jeff Songster said you are welcome. By the way, Jeff made a very generous contribution to the pizza fund, which is what actually is allowing us to move forward with getting the merch. So it's not merch. We're not selling cards, but I'll have to get your address and mail you some of those, Jeff.
That's very nice. Thank you, Jeff. Stevie B asked, "Where's the link?" The link is down in the description of both of our videos, so you should see that there.
And I apologize on my channel. YouTube keeps buffering, but it is just YouTube. It's not my connection. Bear and I are remaining connected quite well.
I think so.
I don't know what in the heck is going on with that. Absolutely.
Olivia, this is a body armor. I have no Gatorade. Body armor. Get it straight. And I will take donations of body armor also. Though it sounds like
this is my Gordon Johnson poll mug from Electrified.
I should have gotten one of those.
Ran a poll that said, "What EV would you buy if you had to make one choice?" Tesla Model 3S XY, and that came in at 87%. So, poor Gordon.
I haven't heard from him lately. I haven't heard much from him.
No, he's still on TV. CNBC loves that guy.
Well, no, I haven't heard any of his Tesla comments, because whenever he speaks about Tesla, it gets repeated all over Twitter and all over everywhere else about how wrong he is. So
yeah, he was on TV right before the quarterly production numbers, and he was still saying, "Nope, demand is collapsing in this one specific place. It's collapsing, and these other companies are dominating." Quiet, Gordon.
He's literally looking at the sky and saying that the sky is green, it's not blue, and I'm not sure how he has a job.
I don't think he does. He's a managing director, founder of GLJ Research. Those are your initials, Gordon. It's just you.
Yeah.
So
somebody's paying him to be on TV.
Somebody's paying him, and it ain't customers so much.
Yeah.
Paul says Elon needs to buy a chunk of YouTube and fix it.
Next venture. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And JJ needs to know how many slices of pizza he can get.
JJ, if you come, I will buy you a whole pizza.
It's Domino's.
We're over 300. So, 50 times 8. So we got 400 slices. So what is that? 1.2 slices a person.
Oh, you know what you forgot to get set up?
No.
Anybody want to donate a porta john or 10?
No, this is a park. There's real bathrooms.
Well, this isn't Washington. You can't just go like wherever you want.
This is a real park. We've got permits and everything. The permits were kind of expensive. It's like 180 with everything.
Wow.
Yeah. That was. Oof. So, yeah. Digital Blade Canada. Gordon's talking straight up lies at this point. Not even trying. Jeff says delusions pay. Jeff, the claim that his dad worked for GM, we don't know that for sure because when we looked it up, that man who we believe was his father might have been too young to be his father, but we're not sure. We're not sure.
Did he look like the person that you're talking about was like a picture cut out of a magazine or something?
No, it's someone who had worked there and retired, but he only retired a few years ago, which would make him, it's a union job. So like 60, 65, and Gordon's like 40, 45. I mean, it could be his son, but he'd have been pretty young when he had him. Elon should buy GLJ Research and shut it down. That would be hysterical.
What is GLJ Research?
That's Gordon Johnson.
Oh, that's Gordon Johnson Research. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could actually do that.
Because he's been publicly owned so many times.
Oh, God.
All right. I'll take it.
Yeah. That was cute.
I know. Yeah. So it's, we're excited. We're getting down to it. Any last minute things we want to say, express, share? Chuck Cook will be at your event looking to get a cyber ticket. Do I know Chuck Cook? The name sounds familiar. Who is Chuck Cook? So I have a theory about tickets, and that is that they're going to just be blasted out at the last minute. Apparently in Berlin, they didn't even use all the tickets, so people who showed up at the door just got in. And if they keep saying, no one's getting in, 15,000's enough to just let everybody in.
I'm going to get in?
I have it on no authority that they will come to the meet and greet and just hand out tickets.
Yeah, I'm going to get dressed up in a costume. I'm going to go as a giant mustache that's shaped like a Tesla symbol, like the Tesla logo. So that they'll be like, oh, yeah, it's a Tesla logo as a mustache and goatee.
Totally.
What do you think that will work?
I'm going to get a cowboy hat and say I'm Fat Kimball Musk. That should work, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna drive a Model 3 there because no one's gonna have a Tesla there, and all the attention will be on me.
Right. John Knapp wants to know, do you think we'll get any updates on Cybertruck at the event?
No,
I don't.
I don't think that we will. I don't know, but I don't think that we will.
Wendelin showed up. Wendelin, we were just talking about you and your cool graphics that will be handed out to folks at the event. Thank you again for your help.
Digital Blade Canada says I should dress up as Wario. If I could find the costume in the next 24 hours.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's a good one. Weirdly, that chat just showed up for me. That's weird. Elon loves pizza, just saying.
Yeah, but not Domino's pizza.
Yeah, well, that's...
Okay, yeah, we'll mix it up. We'll get some Little Caesars. That should make everybody happy.
Everybody differently unhappy.
Yeah. Guac.
Jeff Fat Kimball. What?
Yeah. Guac asked, do you know if Tesla started delivering Model Ys from Giga Texas? I'll tell you one thing I've noticed is that all the ones in there are disappearing. So the ones that have been out in the lot, because it was all black and blue and there's over 400, and there's definitely not 400 around anymore. But now they've got some white ones and they've got some red ones. I was hoping that they would park them in like the shape of like an American flag or something like that.
Oh, park them in the shape of the Texas flag over by the main entrance. We saw 5 of them as a 5-pointed star in white.
Saw that, but I'm talking about filling up that whole area with anything.
Texas in America still? I thought they left.
Not yet.
Let's see. So to answer my thought on that, they do not have EPA certification. As soon as that happens, they will be legally allowed to deliver them to customers. It's entirely possible they've been shipping them around the country, but I think it's more likely that they're just being held off-site, or maybe they're in the giant Southwest prairie inside, keeping them less dusty.
Yeah, maybe. But they've got to put them somewhere, and it only makes sense to start shipping them out. And just storing them somewhere else. But who knows? Who knows? We will. We'll find out soon enough. Maybe we'll find out within 48 hours.
Yeah. Yep. So, guys, I'm so glad you guys could join us. It wasn't a very busy stream. I think I didn't go heavy enough on the clickbait, but that's all right. Oh, it's disconnecting and reconnecting. Well, that's all right. You're still connected.
I'm still connected. So Brian's having issues, and we are going to be wrapping it up here. So we want to thank everyone for being here. All of the people supporting the GigaFest Meet and Greet. We hope to see some of you guys there soon, like in 2 days. If you are there, please come up to us, say hello, let us know who you are. Even if we don't know who you are because you haven't commented, just come meet us. Make us feel like we're at least a little bit important. And we
make us feel famous for a day.
If one person does it, I'm going to be very, very excited.
I have not been famous long enough to get tired of it. The closest I got was at the Arcimoto Ramp It Up event. I think 2 or 3 people up and wanted to say hello, and I thought it was I was like, I even told my kids on the way there, if ever I'm to be recognized in public, this is the place. This is my crowd.
Yeah, it happened to me once, and it was a strange feeling because some guy came up and goes, "I know you, don't I? You look familiar." And I said, "Do you watch gay Russian porn?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Well," he said no. So I didn't know where he knew me from. But then, "Oh, you fly over Nikola, don't you?" I was like, "Yes, I do." It was someone who had worked at Nikola, and I ran into him in a McDonald's. So,
Interesting. My town is too small for that. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Bear, thank you for hanging out. Safe travels to you tomorrow.
Thank you, and the same to you. Safe travels. Do not try and get the pilot drunk. It's not as funny as you think it would be. So
funny though.
Yeah, but I will see you tomorrow night.
Yeah. All right. And for everyone else, if you're catching us on the replay, leave us some comments, leave us a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, all that good stuff. And thanks. And we'll probably do a live show from something. We'll do a special Fast Charge with BnB in-person show. You'll see.
More than likely, we're going to get like really drunk, and then we're going to be like, let's live stream. And then we're going to really regret it the next day. And
that would be fun. We should do that after dinner on Friday. After the fancy steak dinner we did.
Works for me.
Thank you guys, and I'll see you next week.
All right, guys. We'll see you in a couple of days because we're going to be live streaming again.
Oh, that's right.
Brian forgot already.